What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny. In the last episode, we finally finished the Deathbringer quest, getting ourselves the token rocket launcher, a very, very powerful rocket launcher that I am very happy to have in my arsenal, because this is actually going to make doing quite a few things in the game, quite a lot of end-game activity stuff, a lot easier. In this episode, we are going to actually be doing a lot of exploring around the moon, checking out some miscellaneous Shadowkeep-related things that we have not yet done. Mostly just the stuff that you can get within the patrol space. We're going to worry about, like, nightmare hunts and things of that ilk, probably in the next episode. So I just got the machine gun from finishing that. This one actually not bad. Having frenzy on a machine gun is always good. High cal's also pretty good. Quick draw not as necessary on a machine gun. I would definitely prefer that on something like a primary weapon or a sniper, but not so much on a machine gun. So this one's just kind of okay. But I will, I guess, keep it nonetheless. I definitely need to go through and, I'm actually probably just going to straight up delete Night Terror because I have no need for that. It's a really bad sword. One of the worst swords in the game, if I could be honest with you. So, one thing we're going to check out really quickly here. So I got this, a lost ghost trace, while I was running around the moon doing all sorts of various things to finish that lengthy quest that I needed to get done before we did the last mission of the Deathbringer quest. I got it, I believe I got it straight from just picking up some helium filaments. So you can get it from pretty much anything. Helium filaments, public events, opening random chests, all sorts of stuff. But once you get one of these, you're going to want to talk to Eris, because Eris has these lost dead ghosts. These are finite, and you can get exactly as many as there are available here, so a total of 9. I'm going to start with the dead ghost in Archer's Line, because it is very close. So let's go Echo of the Great Disaster. Find a dead ghost in Archer's Line. So let's go and find this thing. And while we're in Archer's Line, there's actually another thing that I want to point out really quickly. And this is more of a daily thing. It's not so much weekly. You can encounter it every single day. You just have to be in the right location for it. Try to go past all of these guys here really fastly. So, fastly is not a word. Quickly. So down here, you see this giant manifestation over here. Nightmare of Loronvis Council Hand. Every single, or all 3 locations, Anchor of Light, El Hellmouth, and Archer's Line, and actually even Saros Harbor, all have nightmare manifestations that can be activated, actually infinitely, but will only give you a reward once per day. Yesterday it was actually in the Hellmouth. Today it is in Archer's Line. I do believe it goes counterclockwise, and the Saros Harbor one is not a part of that cycle. It just kind of appears when it wants to. But we're going to be taking a look at this one really quickly and confronting this nightmare. So you want to walk up to it, hold down square, and thus begins the nightmare. We need to deal as much damage as we possibly can. I am actually going to try to get this guy as still as possible. Unfortunately, I missed him. That's okay, because if I can keep him in here, the super will eventually kill him. And there we go. Ow. Oh, well, we got him at least, but we haven't gotten the rest of them yet. So let's keep doing this thing, and that was not how I meant to shoot that rocket launcher. Because the thing about Deathbringer, and I didn't bring this up in the last episode, the higher from a distance you shoot it from, and the further they fall, the more damage that each of the orbs actually do. So that is something that is incredibly important. But we killed that one, and I believe that is almost about it. Is there another one left? Let's see. I have my shotgun. I do. Okay. Let's kill this guy, and I think I can just outright damage him to death. There we go. And once all 3 of them are dead, we get ourselves a chest. Now, not all of these nightmares come in trios. A lot of them are actually just a singular enemy, but we got that, the Armillary PSU. Honestly, pretty bad drop today, but a lot of times it will usually give you like a legendary and or an essence. It's a really high chance of getting an essence, I do believe. So something to look forward to. But like I said, don't try to do it more than once per day, otherwise it's not going to give you all that great of a reward. Okay, so going after these ghosts is a bit tricky. It's not nearly as easy to track down as something like the weapon parts that you get for each of the essences. You actually have to know where you're going in this particular section. So what we want to do, if I remember correctly, is we want to kind of go along this fissure for a moment until it opens up a little bit wider. You'll eventually notice that there is a spot down here, and you see that thing glowing down there? That is the ghost that we're actually after. They're pretty much only visual, but they do give you a fair bit of phantasmal fragments for doing so.
It falls to us. First pillars. To me. Dawn Caller challenges you. Rah!
So those ghosts definitely belonged to Guardians from the Great Disaster, which, if you remember correctly, was the Vanguard's attempt to deal with Crota the first time before Eris and her fire team went down, and basically everyone was slaughtered. Crota absolutely wiped the floor with all of those Guardians. And so then Eris and her fire team decided to go down. That didn't work so well, but with the knowledge she gained, she was able to give us the tools and the keys with which we needed to finally and once and for all destroy Crota. Now, all that's done. I absolutely do need to get my hands on more Lost Ghost Traces and the like. Gonna have to work on that kind of in my spare time. Not something I'm gonna be worrying about on screen too much. Could possibly get one from here, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna get that lucky. Now, all that remains is we are gonna start going after region chests. So let's do this thing. So there are about 3 in every single section, and knowing exactly where they are is a little bit tricky. I'm not saying I'm going into this blind because I've absolutely opened up all these region chests myself multiple times, but trying to remember exactly where they're at is obviously kind of hard because it's been years since I've opened all of these up. So I am going to just kind of go on this hunt with you guys, and we're all going to look for them together. Now, we cross-reference the map every single time to track these suckers down. They're usually in a pretty well-hidden location, so I'm going to assume that instead of being inside, they are probably more than likely outside. In fact, if I were to bet, yep, one of them is right there. So we get a Phantasmal Fragment, some Glimmer, and a Legendary Armor piece from that. Let's go open the other 2 in the area. So I think another one of these is probably going to either be up on top of that thing or in the building below it. So let's head on up that way. There is another very obvious region chest, I believe, down in one of the fissures down below. Nope, this one is right on top. Super simple. Let's grab that. Get a blue this time, but again, that Glimmer is really the most helpful thing about this. If we open all these, we'll have, about 15,000 Glimmer, which is not something I'm going to complain about. Granted, that's about the same amount that, a single public event gives you, so maybe that's not too much to write home about. But granted, they did severely adjust the gains of heroic public events only like very recently. So let's not start the nightmare this time as we head down. Let's just look for this chest. This one I am apparently right on top of. And if I'm a betting man, yep, I figured it was going to kind of be back off the cliff. So there's all the ones in Archer's line. Now let's head off to the Hellmouth this time. I don't feel like we go in clockwise direction nearly enough on the moon here, so I figured let's do that this time. And luckily there's no region chests well outside the map. I am going to cross my fingers that the one nightmare within Sorrow's Harbor is available for us to do. That one's a little bit of an easier one to take care of, but it's still kind of a fun one, so we might as well try to get that done. All right, let's take a look at the map and see where we have to go. So the first one is actually all the way over here. I'm going to assume it's probably down this way somewhere. If I were to look around, it's not guaranteed, but nope, I am off the course by a little bit. Is it in here, perhaps? Also very possible. Let's see. I am right on top of it, which means it's down below, and there we go. Yep. The region chests don't tell you exactly their location based on their elevation and whatnot, but they at least tell you where you need to be, and then you just have to kind of figure out how to get to them from there, which, I mean, it's a scavenger hunt. I think it's all right, and it only takes a few minutes of your time, and then you never have to do it again. It's really not that bad, and I like it. I like doing it personally. All right, so I think this next one, if I can make a guess. Oh, hey, there is one of these rabbits here. So remember how in the Dreaming City we could get small gifts and give them to the cat statues? On the moon, you are able to get rice cakes. And do I actually have one in my inventory? I don't think I do, because it's probably not going to let me. Oh, no, I do have one. Oh, that's right, because those are actually stored in your inventory, not in your quest menu. So you can actually do that much the same way that you could with the cats, but you can only hold one rice cake at a time. It's effectively the exact same concept. How many you can hold, how long they last, etc., how many the game is willing to give you, all that good stuff. It's all pretty much the same exact thing. Looks like this one's probably in here. Yes, it is. And you can get those as well. I don't actually remember where most of those rabbits are off the top of my head. I've only ever collected them once to get the Harbinger title, and I don't think I ever did after the fact. So there is the last one here in the Hellmouth. Let's take that. And now we need to kind of get back up and head on over to Anchor of Light. Luckily, I know my way around the moon so well that it's really not all that difficult to figure out where I'm supposed to go. I do kind of miss the connection between Anchor of Light and Hellmouth being sort of like... It was like a spinning path of sorts, and they totally changed it so you couldn't just shortcut through it anymore. Which I do kind of miss. Okay, so apparently this one is over here. If I were to assume... I was going to say it's going to probably be up here, but it's probably not up that high because it looks like the game is like, nope, you are not allowed to go up all the way like that. Let's do all that damage. Let's see here. Am I right on top of it? I am close. Is it in here, perhaps? Oh my gosh, all of these. Honestly, that's like the creepiest thing about the moon is just the people screaming in pain and agony while you walk past them because they're just manifestations of these awful nightmares. Is it on top, perhaps? I honestly don't know. That's a thing that we can't do at the moment, but is, I believe, doable later. Where is this chest at? Is it in here? No. Is it down below? I don't want to fall all the way down. I honestly don't know where this chest is. Oh, wow. I literally just did not see it tucked back here on the ledge just behind this thing. Wow, I jumped out there maybe like 3 times and never saw it until I turned left. That was way easier than I made it out to be. Goodness. All right. Next one, we're going to want to head down over this way. I'm just going to try to run that drag over, but I apparently missed. And this one is probably by the Fallen Encampment, I would assume. Check this thing again. We are pretty close. Possibly in where they're spawning it from, I think. Who knows? You can actually get a high-level captain that will spawn out of here sometimes. It could be in here, but I honestly don't know 100% for sure. Oh, no, I see it. I see it. There you are. Yep, it is back in here. That's another one down. We got one more to take care of here in the Anchor of Light. And then all that remains is Sorrow's Harbor, which I'm going to have to actually be 100% sure that there even are any more of those there. Okay, I'm going to kill this guy actually first, this Trove Guardian. So why don't I do that really quickly? That was not as high as I wanted it to be, but it still gets the job done. You do want it a little bit higher than that if you can help it. Now, where is his path again? I have to remember this. There it is. It took a minute for it to spawn. So let's just kind of follow this. Get ourselves a couple more things. And if you just kind of jump in the direction that it's already automatically pointing you in, you should be able to recover from there. The only time I really wouldn't advise that is if you're a frickin' warlock. Not to say that they don't have an amazing jump, but they do have the hardest time changing directions in midair, which that can absolutely be the death of you when you're on warlock. Okay, so last one, not too far away from here. Looks like it's over this way somewhere. Possibly... Ooh... Back here? No, maybe not quite. Almost, though. Is it up high or low? There it is. It's in here, I think. Oh, no, that's a regular chest. That is not the region chest. I'll still open it because it gives me a little extra glimmer. But... where is... There you are, back behind this little thing. All right, now... let's go head up to Sorrow's Harbor. We'll take out the last of these 3 and also see if I can track down the Nightmare over there. And then after all that's said and done, we can call this an episode. And next episode, we're going to be going after nightmare hunts, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. I don't believe I'm going to be able to show all of the nightmare hunts this week. These are probably going to be a little bit rotational because the nightmare hunts are on rotation. They only do 3 a week, but we'll be able to at least start the discussion on those and taking a look at each and every single one of those for a few episodes at the very least. Now, this one right here, tucked away behind the rocks. There is the first. Kill all of these guys. I almost want to do another Altar of Sorrows run, but it's just started, so it's not at level 6, so I don't think I'll bother. Like, if I can get one that's like really high level, I would like to do it again, but only so I can get another chance at the shotgun. I do not want to proceed to the next altar, please. I really don't. Okay, so this one is probably over by that thing over there that we can't do anything about because it is part of the Season of the Seraph. Let's head all the way up here. It's tier 5. I don't know. If those guys start participating, I might have to jump into that, but obviously I'll probably do that between episodes. Now, this one is right down here. So let's grab that. Careful getting back up. I did just get a Taipan, which is a very, very good linear fusion rifle. And then last but certainly not least is that one way the heck up there. So let's get rid of that. I don't know if they're going to actually be able to do that. They might not be engaged enough, so I might have to just pass on that, but oh well. Is it in... No, I think it's underneath somewhere. I don't think it's actually up above here. It might be. It's possible. But if I were a betting man, I would say no, it's not up here. It's almost certainly down. So let's go in through this way. Kind of follow this little path over here. And there we go. The last region chest on the moon. All of them have been gotten. We get the little triumph for it. Now, really quickly, I'm just going to show where that nightmare spawn is here in the... I keep wanting to say the. Here in Sorrow's Harbor. It's the only location that doesn't start with a the. So that's why I'm constantly mixing it up. At least here on the moon it is. And if we head down this way... No, I thought it was that glow for a second. It's usually right here. Spawn, just kind of floating above. It's a knight with a sword of some sort. But, oh, this actually does give me the opportunity to, at the very least, show a different kind of puzzle. So, you see these chests right here. Shotgun, and I say shotgun because of the style. Burger A. That is what I call these symbols. Shotgun, burger, and A. You can't actually see burger because it's the top half is obscured by the chitin, but... trust me when I say it's kind of symmetrical. Now, people have different names for all of these things. I have my own. Typically, different clans will come up with them because they are important to doing certain things. But I call this one shotgun because it looks like, and I'll show you really quickly on the arms here, it looks to me like the shotgun reloader, the shotgun loader mod, sort of. It's not the exact same because it's in parentheses instead of with diamonds. But that's what it looks like to me. This is a burger because it's got the bottom half and the top half that you can't see with the patty in the middle. And this is just straight up an A, so we're going to call that A. This is how this works. Shoot the first one, and it's going to start glowing green. Next, you're going to want to look for the second symbol. Now, the third symbol is A right there, but we need to be able to track down the burger before we go any further. And there it is, right up there. Now you can actually see it in all of its glory. Hit that one, and for the third one, shoot the A. And with all that done, the chest is unlocked, and we can open it. The other cool thing about this chest is if you purposefully get it wrong, instead of the chest opening, an orange bar knight will spawn. You've probably noticed over the course of the game that I've been getting these things called Finest Matter Weave, and I actually don't have any in my inventory at the moment, but Finest Matter Weave is a piece of... it's a consumable that drops that effectively turns into an enhancement core with every single major and or boss that you kill. If you want to farm those in Finest Matter Weaves and you happen to have a lot in your inventory, killing that knight over and over and over and over again by purposefully missing the chest is the way to go. So keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny. Thank you all so very much for watching. Next episode, we're going to be jumping on into Nightmare Hunts. taking a look at those. We're going to get to show some of the more match-made ones, the ones we haven't actually experienced yet. And I hope that you guys like those because they are actually quite a lot of fun, if I could be completely honest with you. So, I'll be, showing those off in the next episode. See you all then.